Is this a bad angle? I feel like it'll keep me from having a double chin though if I'm looking up. I have to pee. Are we ready to talk about birth control?
I'm not.
I was on live and I was like, okay, I'm gonna record a YouTube video talking about my decision of getting off birth control. And someone was like, oh, are you trying to have a baby?
No.
No. My name is Mallory and I've been on birth control for 15 years.
And I experience bleeding.
It kind of sounded like, my name is Mallory and this is Disney Channel.
That timer for 27 minutes.
That's about how long it's gonna take for me to get all my thoughts out. So this is a long time coming. I have been on birth control for over 15 years. Why? Well, 15 years ago, I was experiencing really heavy bleeding, inconsistent periods, really bad cramps, the works, right? So what do? They just slap birth control on you and call it a day. So let's go back, shall we? On my 13th birthday, I got my first period. Welcome to teenage womanhood, right? Happy birthday to me. 13 years old, I get my period. I started using pads because that is what my mom wanted me to use at the time, but because I was in sports, that wasn't attainable, so I had to switch to tampons. Well, quickly after starting getting my period every single month, I started experiencing very heavy bleeding, really bad cramps. I would leak a Super Plus tampon in 30 minutes, like leak right through it. So all of these symptoms I go and I tell my parents about, and of course they take me to the gynecologist, and it was as simple and as quick as, you're going on birth control and that's it. That's gonna be your savior. So I didn't know any better, and honestly, back then, being a teenager, it was kind of cool being the friend on birth control and all of your friends weren't, and they would ask you questions, and it just kind of made you feel cool. It made you feel like a woman. But that doesn't make you a woman. Being on birth control is not cool. It's not a fad. It's a decision if you want to be taking birth control. I'm not trying to get pregnant. I'm not getting off birth control because I want to get pregnant. Let me make that very clear. I do not want kids anytime soon. I was an avid, is that the right word? Tampon user my entire life. It wasn't until about a year ago that I stopped using tampons. And it was all around the same time when I was kind of like, I don't really want to be on birth control anymore. I was sick of taking it every single morning. I felt like I've been feeling like my body is being masked by something. Like I'm not truly me. I got to talking with some girls and I started doing some research, and I've honestly just been so scared to make the jump to get off birth control because it's just been my constant for the past 15 years. So a little warning, this is gonna get a little TMI, but this is just a problem that I've been dealing with for the past few years. What's been happening, and I've gone to numerous gynecologists and they've all said the same thing, but for some reason I can't find any real scientific evidence or articles online that says this. Is there reasons for that? Maybe, but all of my gynecologists over the years have said the same thing to me. I have cysts growing inside of my body, and what they do over time is they fill with blood. When they are punctured, I bleed. I'm sure you can kind of figure out what I mean by being punctured. So it's very uncomfortable. And then on top of that, anytime I go to the gynecologist, I bleed. Every time I get a pap smear, I bleed because my lining is just so frail and fragile and thin. So again, this isn't just one gynecologist has told me this. This has been numerous gynecologists over the years. It's just so uncomfortable. So I've been doing some research, and what I'm going to be trying to do is regulate my cycle naturally through foods and lifestyle choices. I bought a couple of things from Amazon. I actually asked a lot of you guys of recommendations, what I could be reading, using to help make this process a little bit easier. Someone said a basal thermometer. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but I just got this one off Amazon, and you're supposed to take your temperature every single day, and then what you would do is it connects to an app on your phone, and that way it'll tell you when you're actually fertile or ovulating, whatever. So I'm going to start using this. I also got 2 different books. So I got In the Flow, I got this book called Roar, and I got this one because this is really specific to eating and also training. So if you don't know, I am an athlete. I do Ironmans, I do triathlons, I do marathons, lots of things like that. So it's very important that I'm also eating properly for my periods, but also for my training. And this had really amazing reviews, so I am excited to read this and get into it. I will link them in the description down below. I have not even told my gynecologist that I'm getting off birth control yet. Someone suggested that I start taking less and less pills. So last month, I started taking less pills. Like I started doing only like 3 to 4 pills a week to try to like wean myself off. So this is the first month that I'm going to be starting no birth control, and I'm really excited to see kind of how I feel and what happens, and I will be updating you guys on YouTube about the entire journey. So this will be month 1 after 15 years of being on birth control consecutively. This is going to be month 1 of no birth control, and I'm honestly so excited, and I'm already feeling like free in my body, if that makes any sense. But if you guys have any suggestions of foods, diets, things that I could be using, reading, etc. with this process to make it a little bit easier. I've heard mixed reviews that some people feel no difference whatsoever and other people have a lot of different symptoms, and I'm a little nervous that I'm going to have a lot of different symptoms, but I will keep you guys in the loop on all of that. A year ago, I switched over to a menstrual cup as opposed to relying on tampons. There was a lot of stuff all over social media about how toxic tampons are. So I was like, you know what? Let me try a menstrual cup. I went on Amazon, I bought a menstrual cup. I think I used the Lena, L-E-N-A cup, and it was just a brand that I found. There's so many different brands for menstrual cups, but that would just happen to be the one that I used. When I say I had a full-on panic attack the first time I tried to put it in, but more importantly, trying to take it out, it was awful. So let me be your big sis here, okay? Because no one really talks about this, or maybe they do and you just haven't seen it yet. When you are putting in the menstrual cup, there's lots of different ways to fold it, and you can look up how to do that, but you need to relax. You need to relax. For me personally, it's easier for me to put it in if I'm standing, not sitting. When you are going to take it out, again, number 1, you need to relax, okay? Don't panic. 2, you can either do it above the toilet or you do it in the shower. Personally, if I can, I like to do it in the shower. It's just easier. It's gonna look like a horror film in that toilet or in that shower. Be prepared. It's messy, it's gross. But how to get it out? I've never had kids, so I can't really say that it's like pushing out a baby, but you need to imagine that you are pushing out a baby while you are pulling it out at the same time. If you are just trying to pull and you're anxious and you're tensing up, it's not coming out. So you need to relax, grab, push and pull all at the same time, and it will come out fine. I promise you, it'll be fine. You will be fine, just relax. But I do need to say that that was one of the best things I've ever done. I feel like making that switch from using a menstrual cup for 90% of my period versus just tampons has already made me feel so much better. It makes periods so much easier. I don't know why when we were kids, we were not taught about menstrual cups or discs. Like that should be something that you're teaching kids. So if you're not teaching your kids how to use menstrual cups, I will tell you as a grown adult now, I will never go back as solely using tampons. Menstrual cups are the way to go. That's it. I buy organic tampons without all of the chemicals so that like the last like day that's that really light kind of like spotting, I will just throw a tampon in and that's fine. But I did switch to organic tampons, and I'm telling you, make the switch. Stop buying all those big name brands. They're putting way too many chemicals in their tampons. And for what? So this is my journey on getting off birth control, and I'm so excited to just be done. I'm excited to take control and take charge of my body. Why is it that I've had my period for more than half of my life and I'm just learning about ovulation cycles? I'm just learning that you're only fertile for a portion of the month, because I was brainwashed into thinking that if I wasn't on birth control and then I got off birth control, I can get pregnant immediately. That's not the case. That's not the case. For whatever reason, they don't teach us properly when we're young about a woman's body. Every single human being on this planet should learn about how a woman's body works and menstruates, because I think it would clear up a lot of confusion across the board. If you are interested in this journey of mine of getting off birth control after 15 years, make sure that you like this video and also subscribe to my channel. I will be doing, if not weekly, maybe bi-weekly videos on my progress or process, whatever it would be called. I will let you guys know if I like these thermometers and books. If you guys have any suggestions for me, please comment them down below. Hopefully that's everything I wanted to say. Do I need to say anything else? I don't think so. I just really hope my periods don't come back all wacky and weird and I'm not bleeding out. Should I tell my gynecologist? Nah. I'll tell them at my next pap smear. Let's become a woman.